and that she wasn't treating Gypsy like a child, like the way that she should. Like if she's going to be Gypsy's parent, she needs to act like Gypsy's parent. And Christy said that resulted in her like going at it with Gypsy. So apparently Christy and Gypsy got into a huge fight because, so you know that comment that Gypsy made about how she gets like basically insinuating that Ken was doing good oral, like making her wet kind of thing. That comment really upset Gypsy's lawyer, Mia, Dylan, Ken's mom. It upset Ken. It upset Rod. It upset Gypsy's divorce lawyer. And people were like, I lie. I love you. And she said that Christy initially said nothing about it to Gypsy. And I guess Gypsy's attorney like chewed her out about that because it was like, you're going through a divorce. Why the hell are you telling people about your sex life with Ken? This is disgusting, unnecessary. People don't need to know about this. What is your problem? Have a filter. Act like an adult. Why are you sharing this? Why? To prove a troll wrong on the internet? Get a grip, Gypsy. Like you're acting like a fool. And she's literally going through a divorce. Like, why are you going to share that? You don't share that when you're going through divorces. And my lack of empathy, that's not to me, that's to somebody in the chat. So because Christy initially didn't say anything about that comment, Mia apparently, this is what Christy told me, Mia got upset with her, and then Gypsy Christy went off on her and was yelling at her. And I guess after she went off on her, she said that Gypsy went outside and then did something else, went online and made another stupid comment and started getting into fights with people online. And Christy had to be like, what are you doing? And she said they got into a really big fight about it. And the vibe that's happening right now is that no one can control Gypsy. No one can control her. She doesn't listen to anyone. She doesn't care that what she's doing will literally negatively impact her divorce, will give Ryan ammunition in the divorce, will contribute to what she's doing right now. So I know that TMZ reported that they're not going to have alimony and they're not going to do spousal support. However, in the state of Louisiana, adultery actually can contribute to the person that was cheated on get more assets in the division of assets for marital property. And so what she's doing is giving Ryan's attorneys ammunition for Ryan to get more money, because they'll be able to prove that even though it's a no-fault state, they'll be able to prove fault, and it'll be Gypsy's fault that the marriage fell apart. Because Louisiana has this really weird law, and this is basically how they explained it to me, that they don't own anything, but they have really big contracts with Lifetime, and there's a lot of money on the line to them. So they're just trying to protect the money. Christy tells me a lot of things, and fair to say that, like, regardless if she told me something as a friend or not, like, I don't care. Like, I stood back. You have to understand something here. I stood back and took a ton of heat for her behavior, and people blamed me, harassed me, stalked me, and came at me over Gypsy's behavior, stating that and this was part of my conversation with them last week. It was like, you guys are lying to me. You're not telling me the truth. Gypsy's a sociopath, not a true family friend. I think a true family friend would do this. I think a true family friend would call them out and tell them that their behavior is foul. I think a true family friend would not be a yes person. I think a true family friend wouldn't be shy to say publicly, if you're a public person, that the way that they are acting is foul, is wrong, is sociopathic, psychopathic, that hurting people is wrong. I'm not going to allow her lies to impact my credibility, and people don't and shouldn't follow anyone blindly, because Christy will always cover for Gypsy. They will always cover for her. They will always pretend like Gypsy's done no wrong publicly so they can keep making money. That's all they care about. They don't care about anything but money. So they will do anything in their power to cover for Gypsy so the money train doesn't stop. And I'm not going to cover for Gypsy when her behavior is atrocious and she's picking fights with people, when she's being outrageous in the comments, when she's making threats to people, when she's intentionally violating her parole and doing it without any regard and just expecting her parole officer to give her a pass. Like, she has violated, and they have given her warnings. Like, if her parole officer wasn't nice, she could be back in prison right now. Like, she's literally been given warnings about what she's doing. And any other prisoner, if it wasn't her, would be back in prison. So last week, she got in trouble with probation and parole because she left a comment on Tuesday's Instagram, on Tuesday Sparks, I think is her name. She was a roommate of Gypsy's in prison, and she was not supposed to interact with anybody that she was in prison with. She was not supposed to, she's not supposed to speak to them. She's not supposed to talk to them. She's not supposed to comment on them. She's not supposed to DM with them. Title gifter. Oh, thank you, Kelly. That's so sweet. Look at you, title gifter. I don't know what this is, but that's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hannah. You guys are so sweet. Do I keep contradicting myself? Okay. So she's not able to talk to anyone. A stipulation, thank you, Angelina, a stipulation of her parole is she can't talk to any felons regardless. Like, no talking, no DMs, no interactions at all. She has been commenting. She has. She actually left a comment on Tuesday's video, and she was reported to parole. And Gypsy called parole and admitted to parole that she did it, okay? So on Wednesday or Thursday of last week, Christy was actually worried that Missouri was going to violate Gypsy, like literally. it was a serious infraction that Gypsy's lawyer had to literally tell her there's an actual chance that you will go back to prison for this.